But I'm really glad to have Dr. Eva Cwynar on with us from California. And JJ Virgin hasn't hosted a call in a while. I know you all miss her, so I'm real glad to have JJ on tonight. She has a wonderful relationship with Dr. Cwynar and knows a lot about her practice and how well it's doing. And what I really wanted to share with everybody is that Dr. Eva Cwynar is a member of Designs for Health Premier Platform Program, and because of this, JJ has been helping Dr. Cwynar with the marketing end of her practice, really maximizing her website, maximizing patients, and keep retaining patients. So before we get started, I just really want to let you all know that Dr. Cwynar, her practice has grown tremendously in the last year. She's grown a great deal with Designs for Health. Really proud of how she's expanded her business, and I know that her patients are getting fabulous results, which is really why JJ and I were anxious to have her on tonight, because I think that anybody that's has been able to build not only all the sales involved in their office and also build their clientele, their patient load, retain those patients, get such good results that you end up having patients come from farther and farther and farther away. I think that's something that we all want to know. What is she doing? So, JJ, we're going to let you get started.
One thing that Dr. Cwynar, the big thing she's known for, and when you think about people coming into your practice and what their common complaints are, the big thing she's known for is helping patients reclaim their energy. And when I think of what she does in her practice, here she is an endocrinologist. She's a diplomat of the American Board of Internal Medicine. She's a clinical professor at UCLA. But what she's really focused on is thyroid, but she really goes beyond thyroid into all the hormonal balancing, and then beyond that to how does diet play a role, how does lifestyle play a role, what can you do supplementally to support that. And she's having amazing results with this. She has an incredible practice here in Beverly Hills. She got awarded one of the top thyroid doctors in the country, who's who of America, and she's received a lot of recognition in the media. She's done radio shows with Ryan Seacrest. She just helped get Brandon Routh, the new Superman, ready for his show, did some hormone and lab testing on him. She has big celebrity clientele, and she just appeared with me on a show that's going to air, I'm not sure quite when, sometime probably in the fall, or it looks like January, a new primetime show for ABC. And I will tell you that, I got to hear all the behind the scenes of working with her, because when you bring a doctor onto a TV show, it's always a question as to whether they're going to be able to take what can be complicated and make it easy for the public to understand and stay interested in. And the producers loved her. They were so happy with her, and she will absolutely be back on if the show gets picked up to series, which we're all crossing our fingers on. So with that, Dr. Cwynar, welcome.
Thank you.
We know now that you incorporate diet, lifestyle, nutrition. You do a lot of integrated stuff in your practice. How did you get started doing that?
It took me a long time in practicing medicine to get to this place, essentially because I was trained at NYU. I did not have a nutritional background at all, and quite honestly, I was skeptical. I was really skeptical. And then it took my own illness a few years ago to look at alternative medicine, functional medicine. I was constantly getting these strange upper respiratory tract infections, including Pseudomonas and Haemophilus, and went to specialist after specialist, and nobody could figure out why. I'd work during the day, but I'd have absolutely no energy. I'd go home, and by 6 o'clock, I was in bed. I left the child raising to my nanny and to my husband, and it just took everything for me to get out of bed in the morning. And at the time, I was actually had an area in my office that I was first subletting to a therapist, and when she left, a nutritionist wanted it. And the nutritionist came to me one day and said, you know what, why don't you try these things? And they were certain vitamins, minerals, herbs, and I said, why not? So I began taking it, and after a month, it dawned on me that I wasn't getting sick anymore. And when I tell you I was sick, I think that for a consecutive 6 months minus maybe 3 weeks, I was in the state that I had just described to you. And so I thought, you know what, I really have to start believing in this. And throughout the years, my patients would come to me and say, oh, I'm taking this and it really has helped me, or I've taken that. And again, I was a non-believer. And then, until I got ill myself, it's when I started doing my own research and looking at different pharmaceutical companies.
You mentioned adrenals and looking at adrenals with thyroid issues. So what are you doing to look at the adrenals, and what do you see as the connection there with the adrenals and the pituitary and hypothyroidism?
The adrenals, the first thing that I do if I suspect that it really is either overproduction or underproduction of the adrenal gland is I do the ASI, which is the Adrenal Stress Index. There are several companies that produce this kit, and it comes like in a box, and I actually give it to the patient. The patient does it at home. It's a salivary test. They swab themselves several times a day because, as you know, the adrenal has a diurnal effect. I mean, your levels at 8 a.m. are going to be different than 12 o'clock, then 4 o'clock, then 8 o'clock. I mean, it's a very variable number. So I look at that and I see what the pattern is. I look at the overall index, the number that, or the amount that they're producing by that through the day, but more importantly is I really do look at the number that's fluctuating. Then if it's an underproduction or burnout from lifestyle, from having caffeine, from drinking alcohol, from lack of exercise, I usually put them on two things. I put them on both the adrenodone and the desiccated adrenal support. And
so an adrenal glandular product like adrenal complex?
Right.
I know you've renamed some of our products because you private labeled, because again we're working on creating more of a brand with you, so I know some of the names we've changed a little bit with you. And so how are you seeing that? What effect are you seeing when you start to work with adrenals in conjunction with thyroid? What are you seeing with the patients?
Well, it takes about a month, so I always tell a patient that they won't feel anything for at least 30 days, and then they progressively get better. When it's an adrenal problem, I always have them see my nutritionist, always, because foods can alter how your body's responding, and I really have them on a rigorous dietary plan, sleep plan, exercise plan. On occasion, I will have them see a biofeedback specialist so that they can learn how to address their own stress and fatigue. Sometimes I'll incorporate acupuncture. But again, those are things that I send out of my office. I don't have them in my office.
But it shows that you're really creating an integrated approach, because I really don't know how someone could treat an adrenal issue without, again, doing some of those things, especially having the nutritionist on board to deal with some of the things that will aggravate an adrenal condition like caffeine and alcohol.
And there are, I saw someone today who had a very, very low ASI, and she had a big event that she was going to host on television, and it was going to take too long for the medication, or not the medication, but these herbs to take place. And so on occasion what I will say is, for 5 days prior to a huge event that you have, you can take 5 milligrams of Cortef. I don't encourage that, because anytime that they actually take a real, no matter how low, but a real adrenal product, pharmaceutical product, we're setting back time on healing the adrenals. But sometimes we're forced to do it because people just have to get through the day.
Well, you work in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to take drastic measures to get people ready for films and events. So,
Thank you so much, Dr. Cwynar. That was an incredible call.
Thank you for having me.